So you have a job interview and you're thinking about how you're going to get prepared for that interview. There are so many questions that you should answer, or at least you should get yourself familiar with, at least related to the company, or related to yourself, or related to personal development, or general questions that keep repeating themselves in interview sessions. Now, to get yourself familiar and to get some customizable templates as regards very interesting and professional answers, ChatGPT can provide you with professional answers as you prompt in the right questions through it. In this tutorial, I'm going to take you through how to answer some basic tough interview questions within ChatGPT. So you can learn to customize to be based on your own profession. If you're an engineering student, you can relate it to engineering, or if you are a social science student, you can relate it to social science, depending on which area of expertise or which niche or which profession you are coming from. You can as well ask ChatGPT to answer the question according to that profession or to relate it to that profession. So it's now left for you to put in your experience into this kind of questions, to just plug in your own experience and areas that you've worked and degrees that you had and some of your achievements to make it much better. So let's start with simple prompts like tell me about yourself. Can you give me sample interview answer to tell me about yourself? Okay, certainly. Here is a sample answer to common interview questions. Tell me about yourself. So thank you for asking. See how polite it just landed the answer. My name is your name and I'm a current year position, your current position, your recent graduate, okay, or recent graduate. I am this with a degree in put in your field. I've always been passionate about your industry or field. You can put in all that. And I'm excited to bring my skills and experience to company name as we put in position. So you just plug in these key required features and you'll be good at the beginning. Now you talk about your previous role. Say in my previous role at, name the company that you worked with previously. I gained experience in, name a skill that you've gained experience in. I also had the opportunity to work on this project. So you name a project that you've worked on. That's why most of the answers are subjective. So you are not the one to plug in your experience to make it much better. Okay, which helped me to develop my skill, so you put in the skill that you have developed along the way by participating in this project or these tasks. Outside of work, now you want to relate it to your personal life. I enjoy hobby or activity. You now plug in your hobby or activity here. I enjoy, for example, playing chess, which helps me stay creative and focused. I am also committed to, personal value and volunteer work. You can just put in some personal work and some volunteer work that you've done. And I believe it's important to give back to the community. Employers like people who always connect with the rest of the world through community engagement. So you can be very specific about engagement that you've had prior to the interview. It will help you to stand out. Overall, I'm excited about the opportunity to join your company and contribute to, you now have to know their goals and mission, okay, of the company. So just take note. So prior to going to any interview, you must have at least read about the company, their goals, their missions, so you can align your talk or your answers to those goals and missions, so you can stand out and appear very different. So thank you for considering me for this position, and I look forward to discussing my qualifications further. Now this is a very specific one, but then we can lure it to give us a specific example, for example, in the IT industry. So can you rewrite this with an example, a recent graduate from computer science? Okay, so let's say now we are getting more specific. It says, sure, here is a sample answer tailored to a recent computer science graduate. Thank you for asking. My name is, now we put your name. I recently graduated with a bachelor's degree in computer science from this university. You just put your name, the university, and I'm excited to apply the skills and knowledge I've gained to a career in your industry. Now, during my time at the university, I focused on courses related to, giving the specific area of the computer science, because there are different areas in computer science. So you give the specific area where you focused on, including this. And I also gained experience working on various projects, such as put the project or research experience that we've had while in the university, where I developed my skills in, put in key skill. In addition to my academic and technical skills, I also have experience working in teams, communicating complex technical information and solving problems creatively. I believe these skills will be valuable in a professional setting. Now, we now talk about outside of my studies. You have other experience or other skills. I enjoy participating in hackathons and attending meetups in my local tech community. These activities have helped me stay up to date with the latest technologies and trends in the industry. It means you are not just a one-man army. You always connect with people and connect with the outside of the studies to be able to find updates, to update yourself with the latest trends and things that are contemporary within your community. So overall, I'm eager to apply my skills and passion for technology to a position at the company and then contribute to their goals and mission. Thank you for considering me for this opportunity, and I look forward to discussing my qualifications further. So this is a little bit narrowed down to computer science. You just plug in these details and you'll be good as regards the answers to tell me about yourself. Now, another question that often pops up from interviewers to interviewees is, what is your biggest weakness? So can you give a sample answer to the interview question, what is your biggest weakness? Okay, sure. Here is a sample answer to the common interview questions. What is your biggest weakness? Now, this is a very tricky question. You just have to be very careful not to say the weakness. Say the weakness, but find a way to transform it into a strength. So look at a sample interview question. Sample answer provided by ChatGPT. I believe one of my biggest weaknesses is my tendency to be overly critical of myself. While I believe it's important to strive for excellence, sometimes I can become too fixated on small mistakes or areas where I feel I could have done better. Now, to address this weakness, you see, you've stated the weakness quite short in the first paragraph or in the first sentence that you provided. Now you want to tell them how you address this weakness. You've admitted that you're human and you have weakness. You've stated it clearly. Now, to address this weakness, I've been working on adopting a growth mindset and focusing on learning from my mistakes instead of dwelling on them. You are now focusing on learning on your mistakes instead of keep dwelling on thinking about them. I also make a conscious effort to celebrate my accomplishments and recognize my strengths, which helps me maintain a balanced perspective. Now, additionally, what I have done is I've found out that receiving constructive feedback from others has been helpful in gaining a better understanding of my strength and weakness. I'm always open to feedback and eager to learn how I can improve. So this means you are just a very flexible person. You are not a one-way person. You are open to feedback and critics, and once it is constructive, you can improve and take corrections and make yourself a better person or a better employee. Now, overall, I believe that acknowledging and working on our weakness is an important part of personal and professional growth. And I am committed to continuing to develop myself in this way. So you've accepted that you're a human, you have weaknesses, but then you are working on your personal and professional development to see that you grow or you outgrow those weaknesses to sound and look better and make yourself a better person. And this is convincing enough to convince any employer to take you, because it shows that you're human and you know exactly what you're doing. They are not employing a robot. So this is the second question. Now the question can get so generic, and let me give you one that is generic, but you can say a lot of things about you. Answering these kind of questions, because they are applied questions, sometimes you just have to relate it with your own experience. Okay, so next thing is, can you give me an answer to this? Give me an example of a time when you handled a major crisis. Okay, so let's hear from ChatGPT what it has to say. Sure, here's an example answer to the interview question. Do an example of a time when you handled a major crisis. Now, this is your response. One of the most significant crises I faced was during my time as a project manager for a software development team. Now we're talking about the IT experience, and I was sharing from one of your experiences as a software development project manager. We were working on a critical project for a client, and one of our key team members unexpectedly resigned just weeks before the project deadline. Now, at first, the situation seemed overwhelming, as we were already operating with a lean team and the remaining members were already working at full capacity. However, I knew that the project's success was critical to our client and our team's reputation, so I immediately took action. First, what I did was I reassigned tasks and redistributed workload among the remaining team members to ensure that we were still on track to meet the deadline. Then I worked with our HR team to expedite the hiring process for a new team member, and we were able to bring someone on board within just a few days. Now, throughout the crisis, I made sure to communicate regularly with our client, keeping them informed of the situation and our progress, and also made sure to support our team members, checking in with them regularly and providing additional resource where needed to help them manage the increased workload. You see, this shows commitment and team playing. Okay, you are a team player because you added some responsibility in addition to what they were initially given, and then you care to even find out about how they're faring and provide support to make sure that they took in the added responsibility. Now, in the end, this is what happened. We were able to complete the project on time and within budget, thanks to the effort of our team and our ability to adapt quickly to a difficult situation. I learned a lot from this experience about the importance of staying calm under pressure, working collaboratively with others, and staying focused on the end goal. And this, I think, is superb. We've given the scenario as it is. We've given the situation, we've given the actions, what you've done, and you give the results, okay, of what happened at the end. What happened is you have highlighted the result, and you've even added the lessons you have learned through this experience. And I think this is a very fantastic answer. So you just have to learn to lure the chatbot to answer the question according to what you have. Okay, so some of these questions are generic, like I said. So next we can ask questions that is generic also, something like, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? This is a very common question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? Okay, so let's say, can you give a sample interview answer to the question, where do you see yourself in 5 years? So let's hear from ChatGPT. Sure, here's a sample answer. In 5 years' time, I hope to have grown both personally and professionally within this company. My primary goal is to continue developing my skills and knowledge in, now you state your field, taking on new challenges and opportunities to expand my expertise. As I gain more experience, I hope to take on more leadership responsibilities and contribute to the growth and success of the company. Whether that means managing a team, overseeing key projects, or taking on leadership roles, I'm eager to take on new challenges and make a meaningful impact. Additionally, I hope to continue building strong relationships with my colleagues and contributing to a positive and collaborative workspace culture. I believe that cultivating a supportive and inclusive work environment is critical to achieving success and building a fulfilling career. Overall, I'm excited about the potential for growth and development with this company, and I am committed to working hard and making a meaningful contribution to its success. So you see, this is very generic. You've stated where you will see yourself in 5 years, committed to your personal development and contributing to the company's overall development. Even you are even offering yourself to take in more leadership responsibilities or team management roles to make sure that the company moves forward. Okay, so you can ask it to regenerate this response, and it's going to give you another response to this. You say, sure, here's another sample answer to this question. In 5 years' time, I see myself continue to develop skills and expertise in this industry and taking up additional responsibilities. In the short term, now this is your short-term goals, you intend to focus on these goals, such as gaining experience in this specific area or completing relevant certifications or training programs. And I'm also interested in opportunities for mentorship and leadership development within the company. As I continue to grow and develop, I hope to take on roles of increasing responsibility, such as putting some target areas, target position, and target interest, where I can leverage my skills and experience to make a meaningful impact on the organization. And ultimately, my goal is to be a valued contributor to the company and to continue to develop my skills and expertise in ways that benefits both myself and the organization. You see, this is very, very fantastic. It talks about your ambition in 5 years. It talks about how that ambition is going to benefit the company. And that's very superb and interesting. Let's ask ChatGPT to hear a generic way of answering these kind of questions. Can you give a sample answer to the question, why should we hire you? Yes, to the question, why should we hire you? Sure, here's a sample answer. I believe I will be an excellent addition to your team and bring significant value to the company for several reasons. First and foremost, I have the skills and qualifications necessary to excel in this position. My now put in some relevant experience based on your previous experience make me well suited for this role. And I'm confident that I could quickly get up to speed and start making meaningful contributions to the company. In addition, I'm a quick learner and I'm always eager to take on new challenges. I'm also a strong collaborator and communicator, which I believe are essential traits for working effectively with colleagues and clients alike. Furthermore, I share the company's values and vision for United States, their goals and mission, and I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to this mission and to work with a team of like-minded individuals who are passionate about the industry, to United States, the industry. And lastly, I'm committed to ongoing growth and development, and I'm eager to take advantage of any training or development opportunities offered by the company. I'm confident that with my skills, experience, and attitude, I could make a significant contributions to your team and help drive the company's success. I think this is superb, and this can give you an insight into what this interview question is. You have to be able to showcase your skills. What do you have for them, and why should they take you? How is your expertise or skills related to the company's goals and missions and visions? Okay, you have to align with all these and tell them how committed you are to their own growth and what kind of benefits you are bringing on board. So I think this is also equally very nice, and you can also drive through. If you wanted to regenerate the response, you can regenerate, or if you want it to be specific, citing some of your achievements or some of your skills, you can still do that. So just go ahead and play around with the chatbot and see what you can prompt in and what response you can get. So another question I often see and I see interviewers asking is, tell us about your biggest failure. So let's ask ChatGPT, can you give me a sample answer to tell us about your biggest failure? Okay, sure. Here's a sample answer. One of the biggest failures I have experienced was during my time as a project manager for a software development team. We were working on a critical project for a client, and despite my best efforts, we ended up delivering the final product several weeks past the deadline. So you see, you have stated the situation, you have missed a deadline. Now looking back, there were several factors that contributed to the project's failure. First, I didn't have a clear understanding of the client's priorities and didn't communicate effectively with them throughout the project. Additionally, I didn't anticipate the scope of the project accurately, which led to delays and cost overruns. So while the failure was certainly disappointing, now you want to turn it into a strength. You've already stated the fact that you failed. Now you want to turn it into the lessons you have learned and why it is a strength to you, because it makes you now stronger because you've learned something. I learned a lot from the experience. In particular, I learned the importance of effective communications and collaboration, as well as the importance of setting realistic expectations and managing scope. I also learned the importance of taking ownership of my mistakes, and using them as opportunities for growth and improvement. So since then, I have taken steps to ensure that I didn't repeat the same mistakes. For example, I've become more proactive about communicating with clients and stakeholders and ensuring that I have a clear understanding of their priorities and expectations. I have also become more diligent about project planning and risk management to avoid scope creep and delays. So while the failure was certainly a setback, I believe that it ultimately made me a better project manager and more effective team member. I'm grateful for the lessons I learned, and I'm committed to continue to grow and develop as a professional. And I think this is very, very professional, and you can just customize it and suit it to your own experience. So you can see the transformation. You state the failure very clearly, and then you turn in to highlight the lessons you have learned, and then you turn it to make it useful to you and show why the failure was a lesson and that you are not likely going to repeat this failure or this mistake in the near future because you have learned your lesson and you have transformed it into something beneficial. So this is basically how to interact with this chatbot and have it answer most of your interview questions. Okay, so let us ask the last question. Can you give us a sample answer on this? How do you manage your time and prioritize your tasks? Sure, here's a sample answer. I believe that effective time management and task prioritization are essential skills for any professional, and I have developed several strategies to help me stay on top of my workload. First, I like to start my day by reviewing my to-do lists and prioritizing tasks based on their urgency and importance. I use tools like Trello or Asana to organize my tasks and ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. I also like to break down larger projects or tasks into smaller, more manageable subtasks. This helps me to stay focused and motivated and makes it easier to track my progress. In addition to prioritizing tasks, I also find it helpful to schedule blocks of time for specific activities such as responding to emails or working on a particular project. This helps me to avoid distractions and stay focused on the task at hand. So finally, I try to be mindful of my energy levels throughout the day and schedule tasks accordingly. For example, I know that I am not productive in the morning, so I try to tackle my most challenging tasks during this time. Overall, I believe that effective time management and task prioritization requires a combination of planning, organization, and flexibility. By using a variety of strategies and being willing to adjust my approach as needed, I feel confident in my ability to manage my workload and meet my deadlines. And you can see this is very, very specific and superb and professional and direct, because it has shown you understand, you even realize the importance of time and prioritization of tasks. And then you specifically employ digital skills, okay, by using Trello and Asana, which are very, very interesting software that you can use to manage your time and assign your tasks and be able to follow up on all your tasks and get them done on time. So, and then you have stated other ways that you manage your time as well. So this is a very generic and comprehensive answer that anyone can give. You can go ahead and learn from it, see how you can customize it to suit your own experience, and you can even cite a specific example where you show the prioritization of tasks and time management schedules and strategies. So ladies and gentlemen, this tutorial is just to show you how to, on your own, subjectively relate and interact with ChatGPT to be able to answer critical and difficult interview questions. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go ahead and play around with the prompts, give a different kind of prompts depending on what kind of interview you are going. Try to see how you can relate the text, the questions, and ask it to give you an idea. And then by that, you'll be able to see how you can respond, how you can coordinate, how you can customize the responses to fit in your experience. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.